All right, pay attention while we're here. And we're still waiting for some more people to come in, but we're gonna get this interview started and get it ready. Gentleman I'm about to have come on stage is nothing short of legendary and iconic for what he's done in the production world. Super dope creative. He's laid the foundation for a lot of other creatives, but he's also made music that are the soundtrack to a lot of our lives. So here we're gonna play some of his records. Clap your hands for my brother Ski Beatz one time, man. Hey. On the red couch, my man.
The red couch. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? All right, all right.
So, you know, before we get started, I gotta make sure you guys know exactly who's in the room. I gotta play a couple records real fast so you understand what's going on right here.
Play the one I did for Prince.
I'm not sure if you guys are all old enough to know some of these records, but hopefully you've heard them. One of my top 5 favorite records. Yeah. My man. Y'all heard that record before? Y'all heard that record? What y'all know about this record, though? I just found out he produced this shit last night. One of my favorite posse cuts of all time, right?
Hey.
My stripes show like regiments, military intelligence, murder game. I leave no evidence, credentials. Go ask my
in my mind, this is one of Nas's best verses.
Definitely.
I feel like he just killed the shit.
Definitely.
Operation Return, they try to say I was incompetent, not able to learn. The table turn now, got my own label I earn. Like the niggas said in dead presidents, money to burn. Queens, British, pay homage, respect. Nas is a vet, acknowledge the rap. Bottles forgets, niggas is this and that. I'm just the best, putting on balance the rest. Between Latin kings and bloodless sagas. Blood is Spanish, so many thugs vanish. Unite the system, the fight within the street wisdom. They help teach and prison pop.
Fly.
Anyone test the pun, must stop. Give me one try.
Now you know you done fucked up, right?
You ain't got no
Hands in mi casa, que te pasa?
You ain't even
In my plaza.
I hate an actor that plays a rapper. I'm
Legendary. Everybody's favorite rapper. Bronx energy.
The same nigga who known to blow out your brain mineral or rain subliminal besides your visual. Try to supply your physical with my spiritual side of the lyrical. I'm a period of dreams like Freddy, do no kidding you.
Even if I success, I'ma still shit on you.
Soon as I chitter chatter, you
Shit'll shatter.
I'm a kid out of the Bronx.
The poem was crazy.
Hella metaphors, killers better than all. One song stand up. You do the cuts too?
No.
Primo?
Nah, my man Rob.
Johnny Blaze ain't a damn thing changed. Ah, man. We can listen to the whole shit, but that's just. And then I know you know this one. He's sick of it, but I know you know this one.
Presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. I'm out for different presidents to represent me.
Who wanna bet us that we don't touch never stack change forever? Live treacherous, all the etceteras. To the depth of us, me and my confidants. You shine, you feel the ambiance. Your niggas just rhyme. Body else though accumulates like snow. We don't just shine, we illuminate the whole show. You feel me? Infections from the other side would love to kill me. Spill 3/4 of my blood into the street, let alone the heat. Fuck 'em, they hate a nigga loving his life. In all possible ways, no defense is bugging my life. I spend days reflecting with my man.
This is like tunnel era, right? On the tunnel? Like tunnel era?
Yeah, definitely.
This is a minor setback, yo, still in all we living. Just dream about the get back that made him smile, though his eyes said,
Pray for me, I do you one better and slay these niggas faithfully.
It's a tough thing to digest, it's a slow process. And I ain't got nothing with time. I had near brushes, not to mention 3 shots close range, never touch me.
Divine intervention.
Can't stop by from breaking my ties, but tie down in the bata. Ha ha ha. One life, I dabbled in crazy way. Without rap, I was crazy straight. Plotting, I'm still spending money from 88.
Still spending money since '88. Dog. Who? Anybody here wasn't born in '88? Yeah.
Wow.
Derek wasn't born in '88. Daniel was born in '88.
Wow.
Damn.
That.
Y'all some young motherfuckers, boy.
We just old.
Yeah, we still look good though. Fuck it. So, man, Ski is here with us, man. Appreciate you coming out.
So I love. Thank you.
Ski's always somebody who shows love. You know what I'm saying? Known Ski now for a good probably 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a privilege when you think about, you know, being able to have these kind of relationships because, you know, the songs that you've provided for the world kind of like laid the soundtrack to my life personally, a lot of the lives. I want to just talk about like the early grind for Ski Beatz, like the very beginning. Like, talk about like how you got acclimated as a producer. What were some of the things you had to do? Like, what was the grind like then for you, Ski Beatz?
Well, you know, started off as a breakdancer.
Okay. Switched
Switched over to rap music.
right.
Professional breakdancer. I was nice. Bust your ass, trust me.
Still do a windmill on your head right now.
Right now, baby. Anyhow, started off as a dancer, got into, you know, the whole rap thing, and was in a group, local group from North Carolina called the Busy Boys. That's where it all started. My homie, the rhythm fanatic, he bought an SP 1200, and I was at his house the day it came. UPS dropped it off. I was reading the book. He was pressing the buttons. Hit setup 23, yada yada yada. He doing this thing, so I'm learning it while he's learning at the same time. But he got super nice on it because it was his. But my main focus at the time was rapping.
Okay.
So, you know, Rich, obviously, Busy Boys broke up, moved to New York. And I knew Clark because he used to come to North Carolina with Dana Dane, Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, if you're ever in New York, look me up. Looked him up. Perfect timing. He was A&R'ing it, Atlantic Records. Okay. He said, give me a demo tape. Made our first original flavor demo tape, gave it to him.
Yeah. Original flavor, if you don't know, please definitely look that up because these guys were pioneers. But
he signed us. And I made all the beats on that album. And I didn't, you know, me, back in the day, you know, you rapping and you making beats, you just thought that was part of the game. I didn't even know I was a producer. I didn't even know what a producer was. I just thought every rapper knew how to make beats.
Right.
You feel me? Because that's how you fucking rapped on your shit, right? So I made the beats, all the old Flav beats. And Clark was like, yo, you made all these beats? I'm like, yeah. He's like, give me a tape. Gave him tape. Next thing you know, he started selling my beats and shit, you know, and then that's how I got into that whole production thing, you know? But I thought I was gonna be a famous rapper, but it didn't turn out like that.
Hey, sometimes the roads change, right?
Yeah.
What was your first, like, I guess, paid placement that made you realize, like, yo, this shit is, like, for real?
Father MC, $8,000, out of nowhere.
Father MC, another Mount Vernon.
Ain't nothing but a party, yo. That's the name of the song I did. I was like, wait a minute. I made this beat in like 5 seconds, and I got $8,000 for that. Let me give you some more beats. And Clark was getting me mad work, kid.
So,
mad work.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know Clark Kent, I mean, obviously another legend in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships obviously have played a part, you know, in your career.
Yeah.
Clark, obviously one of the people that, who are some of the people that really kind of gravitated towards you just based on your skill and just you being who you are at first?
Clark, number one. And when Clark introduced me to like Butt Naked Tim Dog, you ever heard of him?
Of course.
Tim Dog. Then I started meeting all the industry people from the Kevin Lyles and all these people just came out of nowhere and they just started putting me on. Like I didn't really have to do too much super grinding because I was like, when I got with Clark, I was instantly connected, you know what I mean? So I met everybody, bro, like every artist at the time, because back then Clark was doing all the major remixes in New York City. So I would just be in the studio flying the wall while he remixing the Jodeci record or remixing this and that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And he put me on a bunch of records. He put me on a Force. What's that? What's the guy's? Full Force.
Oh, Full Force. Yeah.
He put me on a Full Force song, which was kind of cool. He put me on a record with some girl named Narissa, which was kind of cool. Me rapping. Okay. You know, and yeah.
So you got some rap credits out there. You got, he was a rapper.
I was a rapper.
Yeah, he was a rapper. Yeah. Thinking back to that era with Clark and whatnot, what's some of the advice that you got from him that was really, I guess, something that kind of sticks with you to this day? Or like, what are some of like the mantras you have from just being around somebody like him at that time?
just watching how he did his business and how he had like his lawyer and his accountant and everything, you know, and financial advisors, all of that stuff in play.
Okay.
So, you know,
Just the business side of it.
just the business side, yeah.
Cool. Was there anybody at the time that when you were starting to make music that you were influenced by? Anybody you like looked up to that you really wanted to?
Oh, yeah, everybody. Pete, my man Mark Sparks.
Mark Sparks, North Cackalack.
Yeah, he was part of that crew.
He used to be at the studio with Vance Wright. I used to work out.
Yeah.
Well, Vance was my man.
Think about it. I mean, I made Dead Presidents because of hanging out with Mark. You know what I'm saying? Because I love their vibe. I love what they was doing with the drums and things. So I got influenced through Mark when I did that record. Finesse, Primo, everybody that was around. Beat Miners, everybody, man. Redhead Kingpin.
Oh, man.
You sleep on Redhead. He's nice. You know what I mean? On them beats. Yeah, a lot of people, man. Anybody back then that was nice, I was checking for him. Yeah, but especially Pete.
Right. It's crazy because some of y'all probably listen to some of the names and like Redhead Kingpin, Blues Out, right? You know, but I think the important thing a lot of times is to really kind of go back and understand the history of where this thing really kind of started at. Yeah. You know, and that era was so unique because you had a lot of producers that were famous and that were, you know, people looked at them, but at the same time, everybody kind of had their own vibe and their own little niche of what they did. And I think that's something that kind of lacks in today's market where, you know, other people are kind of chasing what they think might be the sound based on what the radio's playing or what might be popular at the time. So just thinking about like the camaraderie and the competition of some of the producers back then, because I know Buck Wild tells me all the time about like, you know, the digging wars of him and Kid Capri and Q-Tip and, you know, they'd be in the record stores together, finding records and be like, oh, no, I need that one. I'll trade you this one for that one. And they're all like, I got that sample first type of shit. Like, how was that? So these guys, and a lot of guys still sampling too. Like, what was that vibe like?
I was never like I wasn't into it like that. Okay. The whole digging culture. I would just find some records. It was dope. I would chop it up. Okay. Throw the record on the floor. Those guys, they would hate me if I was around because I didn't give a about those records. You feel me? As long as I got that sample off and I could make a beat, that's all I was worried about.
Damn.
Yeah.
So thinking back to some of the records that you produced, you know, Feeling It, Dead Prez, finding those moments in those records is a special thing. When you finally kind of like got the Dead Prez beat done, did you have a specific target in mind for that record? Or was that something you did for Jay specifically, or how did that all work out?
Well, I got inspired to do that record when I was in one of those How Can I Be Down conferences. Okay. Nas had just dropped Illmatic, and I heard the record that Pete did for him. Whose world is this? And that inspired me. I'm like, damn, I want to make a beat like that. I like that piano. You feel me? So, you know, I was digging for a minute. So I found something that gave me that same type of feeling. And to test the, you know, proof of concept, I dropped the Nas vocal on it. And I'm like, yeah, I like how Nas sounding that. So I played it for Jay. But Mace had the beat first.
Mace?
People didn't know that. Mace rapped to the beat first.
Wow.
But I played it for Jay. And I said, oh, when the Nas part came in, I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to take that out. He was like, nah, keep that. I'm like, and that's how it happened. But yeah, the Pete Rock joint, that inspired me to make that record.
It's funny when you say that because now I can hear it. Like I could hear that same vibe. That's crazy. Man, you know, there's so much talk about like the Jay and the Nas V from back in the day and the publishing situations. Right. Just to hear a story like that, to know that that was Mace's first record. You know, he was on that kind of record. Like, do you still have some of these?
No. Nah, man. That was the days of ADAT. Oh. And when Pro Tools came out, I'm like, I don't need this no more. And I threw it out. I should have kept them shits.
Scram, you still got ADATs in the crib? Yeah. I'm telling Scram, you got ADATs in the crib? No, weren't going back that far? Yeah, no, ADATs were like a digital kind of cassette thing. And then there was like you had to put it in like a VHS tape sometimes. It wasn't the right size to fit into that's a whole other vibe, man. Look up ADATs.
So many records going, bro. We had the Reasonable Doubt before all of the songs for Reasonable Doubt. 5 songs with Big L was working on his album. Camp Low, first album before their demo version before that came out. All that shit is gone.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like historic. It's like archives, you know what I'm saying? Like they should be in like
let's don't talk about
museums
that
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's change the subject.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Talk a little bit about just your experiences working, with the Rockefeller camp and just like you guys put out a lot of music at certain times and there was a lot of just focus on you guys as a production team and whatnot. At the time you had the Hitman, I think, came a little bit after you guys, but you know, yourself and some other people in that same Rockefeller camp, what was it like in terms of just preparing records for Jay or for anybody on the team? You guys working every day in the same studio? Like, how was the vibes like?
I would just make beats. Jay would come to the crib. He would hear some shit. He'd take it home. Next day we hit the studio. He laying it down. Just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Just how hip hop is supposed to be. Wasn't no structure. Nobody knew they was making classics. Nobody didn't know anything. We just knew, you know, we was making some good shit and let's just keep going. You feel me?
Thinking about, you know, in today's society, everything's super digital. Everything's kind of like, you know, online. Everybody's kind of like emulating the same thing. How do you kind of stay motivated as a creative to just keep pushing through and doing what you love to do versus what's popular or whatnot?
I just do what I love to do.
Yeah.
I do what I like to do. I'm not chasing no wave. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the next whatever. I'm not trying to drop no music really. I just make music, and if it happens to come out and people happen to gravitate to it, and I'm all about the organic thing, man. It has to organically hit me, you know?
I'm thinking about like new producers in general. What are some of the, I guess, mistakes or the common things you see that you think might hold some of these guys back?
Well, you know, number one thing for me is just trying to emulate something that's already been done. You feel me? I mean, you know, when you hear like a dope producer that does a certain type of, let's say trap, hypothetically speaking, and you hear that beat, that shit is fire. But when you hear the clone watered down version, you know it's, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, it don't hit the same. But then you got a million people trying to make the same beat that this kid got paid from, and nobody's stepping out the box and trying to create their own thing, you know?
Yeah.
So just be, you know, be creative.
Yeah.
You know, be original. It's all right to be inspired by people. That's cool.
Yeah.
But switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can have elements of that, but have elements of you too. You got to put yourself into your music.
Yeah. That's a good point because, you know, even speaking of legends like Buck and Finesse and these guys, they always said like they would emulate somebody like sonically. They wanted to sound as good as that person, but they always kind of found their own way to make it their own. And I think that's the biggest challenge, especially in genres like trap and even some of this newer drill stuff.
I mean, we all start like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was listening to producers, of course my beats was sounding like so-and-so for a minute. But when you find, you know, you learn how to walk.
Yeah.
When you find your thing, you find your rhythm and your groove, then you start, it becomes yours.
Absolutely.
And a lot of cats, you know, they you know, they don't want to switch up. They want to just keep that formula because they think that's how you win.
All right.
They're not doing it for the love. When you're doing it from the love, it's a whole different thing. You're doing it, if you got $1 in the bank, you're going to still be in the crib making beats because that's what you love to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not doing it for that. You know what I mean?
That comes, it comes, right? Hopefully it comes.
If you're doing it for the love, it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about your creative approach a little bit, just in general. Like, you know, Ski gets in the room, you want to make some movies, you're in that vibe.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You work on something specific first? Is it sample the drums, melody? What's like your general approach? Is it different every time?
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Might start with a drum, might start with a sample, might play some keys, might see something cool on TV, you know, just whatever. You know, it's really there's no method to the madness.
Gotcha.
I mean, the method come when I get into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I start turning shit on and chopping things up, that's when that thing come out.
Yeah.
But the initial start, anything can spark it, anything.
Okay. So you do this platform for up-and-coming producers, Dojo.
Smack Pack Dojo.
Smack Pack Dojo.
Yeah.
How many Smack Pack people in the room? I know there's a bunch of them in here. Okay. Absolutely. Smack Pack family in the building. You've seen a lot of amazing creatives come through the door.
Definitely.
Agent M, we got my man Flames back there.
Definitely.
Why do you do this platform? What do you get out of it? What do you enjoy about just connecting with these newer producers?
Connecting with the producers, the community, the network. You know, a lot of sample-based producers, we don't have a lot of avenues for things to do. So the Smack Pack, the Dojo classes, that's just a way to get back and to keep the energy. Because we all, you know, we be in the crib, ain't nobody around, we ain't got no energy to bounce off of. We don't know if our shit is dope or not. You feel me? When you put your shit out there and you're getting all this feedback from like minds and your shit here, but then you hearing somebody's shit that's right there, it's helping you grow.
Yeah.
You feel me?
My gosh.
So we just need that little network, man.
That's dope.
You know, producer love.
You were doing, I guess it was maybe either last year or the year before, you were doing the Smack Pack, but you also get like some verses from some of your friends and you can build the records around that. I thought that was a really great concept. Specifically, kind of gives a new producer an understanding of how to structure a record for an artist to get on it, but then also hear their beat with like a Styles P or whoever else on it.
Yeah, dope.
What kind of feedback did you get from that?
Oh, it's amazing, man. Yeah, amazing. It's funny you say that because I remember when we first started and, you know, some producers that I've been following since then, just to see the growth.
Yeah.
I mean, when they first came in, they was like, all right.
Yeah.
And now, boy, them fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Cause they, you know, they hearing like other kids that's incredible. And they hear that and they know exactly what to do. And they just rise to the occasion. I got some beasts.
Yeah.
I got some beasts.
I like the RJ Payne one.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fire. That was a fire one.
Good one.
So talk about the dojo a little more. What do you guys actually do at the actual dojo camps that you do?
Oh, the dojo?
Take us through a day, man.
I mean, you know, well, this month, if you come to a dojo class, I'm basically focusing on groove and trying to get kids off the grid because a lot of producers tend to lean towards the, you know, whatever their drum machine or software when it comes to programming and quantizing, they get lazy and they let the computer do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, when you hear a lot of beats on the radio, everything is kind of tight and everybody should have sound the same because nobody wants to put that real human feel. I don't want to say Dilla, but I just want to say, you know, the real human, the musicianship.
Right.
You feel me? You got to treat your instrument like it's an instrument. Your drum machine is just like a piano, just like a bass, just like whatever. And I try to teach them to get off the grid and just kind of, you know, even if you ain't got no rhythm, you're going to learn some rhythm today. You feel me? So that's what it's about. This month, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're just trying to get everybody off the grid, trying to get them to be natural and organic with their music. I want to hear what you sound like inside. I don't want to hear what the drum machine sound like.
And you do this in multiple cities as well.
Yeah.
Where are you going next?
Next we're going to Norfolk, VA, then Charlotte, then I think Boston and Connecticut.
Nice.
Then we're going to hit the Midwest.
Okay. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Give it up for Ski Beatz, man. Show them some love. So let's say last year we started giving out these awards called Flower Awards, right? I think a lot of times people don't give people their flowers while they're here. So we took the vowels out. It's flowers without the vowels. You know, we give them out to people that we believe, you know, have created something for the culture, people that have influenced other people to be who they are today, people who have been consistent in their career. And even though he's still a young man, we're calling this the Lifetime Achievement Award for man Ski Beatz.
Hey.
And
Nice.
we want to make sure we recognize my man for what he does. So give it
Thank
up to
you.
Ski Beatz. Be careful, that shit's a little sharp, you know what I'm saying?
I see that.
Drop that on your foot.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this. This is nice.